time skip is finally over. We are finally close to that promised battle from all those years ago. Now let's get the elephant of the room out of the way first, the character designs. I think for a while now, the character designs of the characters does not fit the ninja theme at all. The character wears clothes that look like they came straight out of a fashion magazine for idols. As a matter of fact, they actually are. People have actually found what the inspirations for the new designs are. For example, Ida's design from when she was introduced and Sarada's design now. Now, the designs aren't bad. It's a good thing to have our main characters look cool and fashionable. But it's another thing when there are no changes at all to their clothes. And when there are changes, it's just adding a ninja sandal, heels. That's just crazy and lazy. Actually, it shows that the artist has no imagination of his own. He just copies fashion styles from magazines. Next, let's talk about the fights and the enemies. First of all, I feel like all the alien stuff is just way overblown. If it was up to me, it would be way better if we go back to the theme that we had in the Road to Boruto movie. The science part. The part about what it means to be a ninja was such a great concept. When the characters could be living in peace in the world of technology, why was there a need for ninja? But that was all ruined when all the alien stuff is introduced in that story now. It's not like the theme of ninjas and technology can be fully explored when there are aliens as well, but the aliens are overshadowing that theme way too much. There's another problem with this too. I keep seeing this image of Boruto being a parallel to Dragon Ball Z. We have the androids and the aliens. What next? Are there going to be ninja gods now? I think there's actually another series that is inspiring the story of Boruto right now. JoJo. The power that Ida showed and the way that the story is being drawn out and the expressions that they're showing is a complete copy of how powers and battles in the JoJo series were shown. That's when I thought the series is finally going to have its own identity, a mixture of all these series, a mixture of cool action scenes and powers that are straight out of JoJo being used. So the situation is super suspenseful. Now let's talk about the abilities that Boruto have. He doesn't really have any special powers at all, but we are still at the beginning of the time skip right now, so there is still a lot of new interesting ways that Boruto's power can become. He could gain some special alien power thanks to all those years of being together with Momo. If this is the path that the series goes into, the show can become really suspenseful like JoJo, because from the powers that we have already seen in the past from the aliens, their powers are really interesting. For example, making people really small and big and stuff. The other path that Boruto's power can grow into is in his eyes. Now, he's been training with Sasuke for years now. Even if they don't have the same kind of eyes, I'm still hoping that his eye powers can grow because they're eye powers at the end of the day. Now, this way of continuing the series would be less interesting because I feel like we have been doing this for almost the whole Naruto series now, and then we have the most important part that we must talk about. The artist's ability to draw. The artist we have right now is just awful. There's no way for this guy to draw a good spread, and the action scene in the show comes nowhere close to the best scenes that we have seen in Naruto. The character designs are just too complicated for the scene to be interesting. It is way too over-reliant on a single page for the whole complete scene to be impactful. There's still Sarada, the other main character in the show, and let's be honest, Mitsuki, the other guy, will never be shown anytime in the limelight because he's not a Uzumaki or a Uchiha. The last time we saw her, she just awakened her Mangekyo, so I hope that she will show some special powers that we have never seen before. And I hope that she has more time so that she can grow by herself as a character, but my hope for that is kind of blown away by what we have seen in the first chapter. She was all about Boruto. It's like she has no agency for herself at all, and at the end of the day, she has to be rescued by Boruto. In the first chapter already, it's not like I don't get it, because I always hate it when the main characters is being kept away from the action. So that it is always super sick when they show back up, but showing up at the end of the first chapter, any suspense that we could have had are just thrown away. Now we're just at the beginning of the end here, so we can still have a lot of chances for the series to be great again. The characters still have plenty of time to be redesigned, and the artists could hopefully get some help in designing and drawing the characters. And we still have plenty of chances for the main characters to have special and interesting power, and maybe even have the series take on an edgier direction that the artist is trying to take them in. So yeah, that was just some of the ways that I thought the series could be better from now on, and what I thought about the first chapter after the time skip.